Good evening. I'd like to welcome our first round leader, Justin Rose, to the interview room, who shot an incredible 7 under 65, 2 off the course record, a 4-shot lead. It's the 4th time you've been a first round leader. But that incredible stretch of those 10 holes where you were 9 under par, driven by the eagle on the 8th, and then the 7 birdies to follow, leading to a back 930. Congratulations on the great play, Justin.
You.
Let me open it up to any questions. Jeffrey.
Listen, obviously it was tough out there in the start. What did the eagle at 8 do for you to just give you a spark?
Yeah, it maybe settled me down, if I'm honest. I kind of knew 2 over through 7's not the end of the world, but I also knew that, you're going in the wrong direction. You can't win the golf tournament today, even with a 65. You can't win it today. You can only probably lose it today, obviously. And I was very aware, being a couple over through 7, that things were, didn't hit the panic button yet, but I reset just prior to that, and I just thought if I can get myself back around even par, that would be a good day's work. So obviously the eagle, boom, straight back in there. And I guess almost just piggybacking it with a birdie straight away at number 9. Suddenly I turned in 1 under, and I could feel like I could actually leave the front 9 behind as a job well done and kind of move into the back 9 and try and build a score. So from that point on, I kind of was aware that the lead was only 3, and if I played a decent back 9, I was basically a very good day's work. And then, I just got on a great run, and I was just trying to stay out of my own way and just to kind of get it to the clubhouse and just keep doing what I was doing. And, I putted the ball beautifully today, read the greens unbelievably well. And yeah, if you'd have said to me walking up the 8th hole, I said no chance. This course is playing a little too tricky for that. But, it's incredible that, it's a good reminder that you just never know what can happen out there, just to stick with it on the golf course.
Rex.
Rosie, I think I heard you on the telecast talking about what Sean told you early in the week about your swing. Can you just recount that story and maybe expand on it a little bit? I think he said that you're not there, but you're good enough, or something along those lines.
Right. Yeah. Listen, we've been putting in a good bit of work the last couple of weeks, and I feel like we've fallen upon some clarity, at least with the direction that I want to go with my swing. And he just literally said to me, buddy, I don't know if you're close or not, but I just know it's better. And, that's kind of what we came in here with. Obviously, I haven't played competitive golf for a month or so I never quite knew what was going to happen out there exactly. But I was very anxious for the gun to go off today. And, practice is practice. And, I felt like I was laboring through my practice rounds a little bit and, just kind of ready to kind of get out there and have the scorecard in my hand. But, listen, what Sean and I are working on, I feel like it's actually very simple. It's just all about, keeping the face as square to the path as I can for longer. Sometimes when I get my body out of position, I can, my club face gets a little bit too active through impact. And, we're just working on a couple of principles that kind of help lead towards a more solid, more consistent ball flight. Pretty simple, but doing it is obviously the tricky part.
Gene.
Justin, 2 quick things. One, if someone would have told you, right over here.
Sorry, yes.
That's okay.
Whose mouth's moving? I couldn't see.
If someone would have told you yesterday you were going to shoot 65 today, you would have said what? And then can you sort of tell us the story behind you and David hooking up this week?
Yeah, sure. Listen, I've played this course many, many times. I think my 15th Masters maybe, and my best to date is 67. So, I felt like the conditions today weren't the day to go ahead and have your personal best out there. It was pretty windy, windy enough to be tricky, and obviously the greens were incredibly firm and fast. The pin placements were fair, certainly not easy, but fair. And, if you did hit the right shot at the right time, you could take advantage. But, I didn't feel like today was the day for a 65, if I'm honest. And, Clarkey, David Clark, I call him Clarkey. He's been caddying for me all year. I finished with Lordy at the end of last year, and kind of just felt like I wanted some fresh energy out there this year. And he's a great friend of mine. We've known each other for a long, long time. We go back to, my amateur golf days. We became friends, and, he was trying to be an aspiring sort of pro golfer himself at some point. And he was playing the mini tours in Florida, which I don't think were going particularly well for him. And it was sort of 2004, 2005. Again, I kind of had a situation where I was caddyless, and he fancied giving it a crack, and so we had a good little run in 04, 05, 06 even, And then actually we stopped working right before the '07 Masters. So this was our first round at Augusta together.
Steve?
Just to make sure, how is the back? Because I was there 5 weeks ago at Arnie's. So how is your back?
Yeah, the back's good. I mean, I don't even know really what that was and what it was all about, but it was kind of just a 7-day kind of bit of a lockup. And yeah, I just struggled to be able to get down into the golf shot. And it was annoying timing, really, to have to pull out of a weekend of a tournament and then not be able to make the tee time, you know, the tee for Thursday of the Players. It was just unfortunate 7 days. You know, it could have been 7 days at a different time of the season, and it would have been a non-event. So it was just awkward timing. But I could have probably played the match play and the Valero the last couple of weeks, but I chose to put in some work. I felt like that's what my game needed in order to try and get ready for today and for this week.
Doug?
Justin, when did you get back with, when and why did you get back with Sean?
Why? Because, you know, I think I just, you know, listen, I was doing a few different things during the first lockdown phase, but when we were away from playing golf back in whenever that was, you know, March, April, May 2020, and you know, I definitely learned a few things, but learning something isn't necessarily helpful. You know, you've got to learn what works for you individually, and there's no one who knows that better than Sean for me. And you know, I feel like also, you know, he's also, I think, really honed in on his approach recently in the last sort of, you know, year or two as well. And I think that obviously I wasn't playing well and my swing didn't look good at all, and I was falling into some interesting habits. And, you know, I think that, you know, I wanted to kind of get back to working in a good direction, and I wanted to have his support out here on tour. Yeah, he's, you know, he's obviously a wonderful friend of mine, one of the greatest people I know, and it's just really good to be back on board and working hard together. And I think, you know, kind of committed to trying to see if we can turn the ship around a bit.
I'm sorry, when did you guys hook up again?
Back end of last year around the Zozo, yeah, that was kind of, but really weren't able to put in a lot of work probably until really the Florida swing, if I'm honest.
Damon? Yeah, in the back.
Hey, Justin, having said you haven't played in a month, it sounds like your expectations maybe were low, that you didn't know what kind of game you've had. Now that you've shot 65, how do you kind of manage your expectations going forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, that's going to be the trick now the rest of the week. You know, hopefully you can just run off instinct a little bit. You know, I've competed in these big tournaments quite a few times, and, you know, I've got one of them to my name, but we're looking for more. But, you know, I've had some situations in my career that should stand me in good stead. But, you know, listen, I think to keep the expectations relatively low, even in this situation, is probably not a bad thing for me for the remainder of the week, and just keep it one shot at a time. Just keep committing. This golf course, you can never get ahead of yourself on. We've seen it many times around here, but it's all about commitment, and I think it's about enjoying it. You know, I'm obviously walking the walk with Clarkey and just trying to really enjoy being out here. I think, you know, being grateful to be out there today after a month off was kind of part of the mindset today. So it would be crazy to try and change that too much going into tomorrow.
Right, maybe just two more questions. William?
Justin, if you could just run over the chronology of the length of the span in which you worked with Sean earlier, and after that, is being back with him just a bit of a reminder, because he was with you when you were at your best? Is there a bit of a comfort factor there?
Yeah, I mean, Sean and I have been working with each other since 2009 and right until 2020. So through the meat of my career, through the peak of my career, 100%, you know, we've achieved, you know, everything I've achieved in the game of golf, I've done it with Sean by my side. So, yeah, 100%. I felt like I was tailing off a little bit with my own game through 2019. And, you know, I think the lockdown, just being left to my own devices for a little bit too long was probably not a good thing. And I think that just kind of obviously upset the apple cart a little bit. And, yeah, 100%, it's great to be back with Sean. And I trust him implicitly. And just, yeah, it definitely... Just to have him out here on the road and to be able to have access to his knowledge, I think is good, because, like I said earlier, I've learned some new things, or thought I'd learn. I've learned more concepts about the swing, but they don't necessarily work for me in my game. So he knows what works for me in my game.
Final question, Andrew?
Justin, back here, I'm curious, how many interviews have you done before you came here?
How many interviews?
Yeah,
In what sense?
since you left the 18th green.
Oh, today? I guess it was two, really. Three.
Three.
The two TV stations inside in the Butler cabin.
Okay, so this is the fourth. I'm just wondering, are you able to stay in your own bubble and block out the extra attention that comes from leading the Masters?
Yeah, I think that, the big leaderboard creates enough pressure. I mean, this stuff is, it's, I know a lot of you guys now, it just sort of feels part of the job, really, if I'm honest. And yeah, I try to be truthful. I try to just say what's on my mind and how I'm feeling and talk from the heart out here. But, I think my mindset can change a lot between now and tomorrow morning when I play. So I'm kind of haven't had a chance to really reflect on it, and I haven't had a chance to come down from the round of golf. So really tomorrow hasn't started yet for me. So I'm happy to kind of just talk freely right now, and I'll worry about tomorrow in a little bit.
And Justin, just for historical records, would you mind just going through holes 8 to 17, just kind of the birdies and the eagles in terms
Sure.
of the clubs you hit and length of putt you made? And
So I hit a good tee shot off number 8. I was within range of reaching the green, but I was right between 3-wood and 5-wood. So I tried to sort of turn a 5-wood in there, and I did a good job of that. Maybe overturned it a little bit. Got a nice bit of help from the left-hand, ridges and mounding, and holed about a 10-foot birdie putt. Number 9, I hit a driver and a 9-iron into 3 or 4 feet behind the hole. Number 10, I hit 3-wood round the corner and hit a 6-iron to about 25 feet. Rolled it in across the green. Number 12, I hit a 8-iron in there to about 6 feet. 13, I actually purposely played it conservatively. I hit 5-wood off the tee, so I couldn't go for the green. I then laid it up with a 7-iron and then pitched it up the green. It was a pin placement I just liked the wedge shot for, really, and pitched up there to 3 feet. 16, I hit a 9-iron to 20 feet. 17, I hit driver wedge to 4 feet. And 18, 18 I didn't do anything special. Sounds easy when you just put it together like that.
well, Justin, congratulations on an incredible first round.
Thank you,
Wishing you
guys.
all the best this week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.